Anna and Yo are a couple, but everything about this is different compared to what we're used to within the shonen genre of anime. It's fair to say that romance takes a back seat. It's not the focal point within these stories. It's usually part of a story's epilogue, consisting of a time skip to give us a glimpse of a character's future well in the future after everything has been unfolded. Now, it's a neat way to tie all of the character stories into a nice little bun and either infuriate or appease the shippers. How is Shaman King different? Now, many anime deal with romance in a few ways. The chase, where one individual, usually the girl, is secretly and madly in love with the main character who's completely oblivious to the situation. Look at Sakura, who wants Sasuke in early Naruto, Chi-Chi wants Goku in early Dragon Ball, and Uraraka loves and wants Deku in My Hero Academia. Or you can just completely flip the script and say this story has no space for any romance or shipping of established characters, either because there's no interest or because they've established a platonic connection. Look at Demon Slayer, it's a family. Jujutsu Kaisen, they're friends. And when there is a reference to romance, it's used as a means of comedy, which is completely fine. And Shaman King does that, and he does it quite well. But he also does much more. Hiroyuki Take made a point to write his stories by creating the characters first. He creates all of the character quirks before crafting the story. It was a bold move to have the main character to be engaged from the get-go, as soon as we met him pretty much, and it may feel outdated, immoral and downright ridiculous when you look at it with a Western lens, but Shaman King involved a global cast where he researched and incorporated different cultures throughout its wide range of character roster. Child marriage is not a laughing matter, but the show laughs it off, making few references to the fact that Yo has a fiance at his age, and this is done through Ryu or Horohoro. Yo Asakura is betrothed to Anna Kyoyama. This immediately gives a different flavor to the characters and the story in comparison to other anime. It eliminates the will they, won't they question we have with various shows when people are wondering who the main character is going to get with by the end. They tell us straight up from the get-go that Yo is with Anna. This frees up that discussion and actually puts the line of questioning to the supporting cast. It seems minor, but any extra attention to the supporting cast is always welcomed. A mangaka loves the main character and always wants to have them look as cool as possible. Look at Eiichiro Oda's One Piece. If there's a badass moment from the supporting cast, such as Zoro cutting a mountain, you bet your ass that Luffy will have an even more badass moment. Anna and Yo are badasses within Shaman King, and them being engaged allows Take to really focus on all the ways to show off their badassery. The nuance of their characters are displayed within the dichotomy of their characters' view on romance. There has been discussion on what kind of relationship Anna and Yo have. Some accused Yo of being a reactive partner and making the claim that Anna loves Yo more than he loves her. It is quite the statement, as it implies that Yo and Anna are in a toxic relationship and one or both of them are not living up to the standard of being a good, healthy partner. I believe this is wrong for the following reasons. Anna loves Yo because he gave her salvation from her loneliness. Anna was abandoned by her family as a child, and due to her immense loneliness, she developed the shamanic power of Reishi, which is the ability to read minds. The reason for this power was explained in episode 52 of Shaman King 2021, when Hao loses his ability to read minds, as is explained by Ohachio, that there's no need to work out what other people are feeling anymore, because now you're surrounded by everyone else's warmth. This means that their extreme paranoia and fear of being betrayed and left alone and abandoned by people has been conquered, is gone, because now they've made meaningful bonds. The meaningful bond for Anna was Yo. So is Anna just a fangirl of Yo? Is she really in love? Or is her extreme form of admiration and gratitude just been mistaken in a romantic way? Is she just an obsessed civilian who has become obsessed with her hero? No, because to say that would be to minimize all of Anna's experiences and simplify her complex character with an offensively broad brush. Both Anna and Yo have one thing in common. Well, initially, they had one thing in common. They were able to overcome their hatred of humanity through each other. Anna hated humans so much for constantly being abandoned and betrayed that she developed Reishi to a point where she constantly had an influx of negative thoughts and emotions that spawned demons. Poetically, Yo was the one to save her from her demons during the Osorazan flashback and thus free her from her own shackles. He allowed her to relax and embrace within the warmth of his character, within the warmth of him and his personality, such that she can stop being on edge and she doesn't need that power anymore. She doesn't need to be scared of others anymore, and thus he saved her from loneliness. But what makes her truly love him is how Yo is always able to be himself no matter what the situation is, and that taught her to embrace her true self no matter the consequence. Throughout the story, Anna says to Manta, "I love Yo." She tells him, "I love you." She was visibly upset when Tokagero possessed Yo. She was visibly angry and she was upset when Yo gets hurt. Yo revealed in episode 51 of Shaman King 2021 that he doesn't like humans as well. Hao states that it's because of this reason why both him and Anna sought out Yo, because he doesn't like people going along with the crowd. They admired his individuality and they still do. Yo believes in a future regardless of good, bad, easy or hard. He truly is going about living with the flow. But this flow is steered by his innate belief that goodness exists. It doesn't matter if good prevails or evil prevails. The acknowledgement that good exists is what is truly important to him. He saw that with Anna and he strived to let her know that she's innately good. She doesn't need to believe this lie that she's thought about herself, that no, she's wrong, she's an abomination. He's like, no, you're fine. Yo is someone who always thinks and acts in the moment. He grew up lonely with no real friends, Manta being his first human friend. He grew up being taught by his granddad that humanity is like a cancer to the earth. Taking into account his own loneliness, indoctrination from his granddad who is trying to make him a competent shaman, only living in the moment, Yo would therefore not really care about the future, right? You'd assume that. Nor would he like planning ahead. But that changed with Anna. She was the seed because him being betrothed to her was the first time he was forced to think ahead. Anna is hyper-focused, to say the least, because she's always had to be hyper-focused. What are they thinking of me? What's going on? And this is what spawned her mind-reading power as a kid. She knows that Yo needs reinforcement. He needs to be held accountable so he can reach his potential. And what is that potential? From Anna's perspective, is to be the Shaman King. It's the ability to be the most free individual. Yes, she says it's so that she can live an easy life, but much of that is for comedic relief. She wholeheartedly believes in him. She knows that Yo's pureness allows him to live in the moment without compromising himself, without making compromise with other things that go against his morals or make him feel sad. So she supports him so that he can be pure and hopefully he can make a very pure world and everyone can be happy. It was Anna and their future child that taught Yo that the future is important and the value of the future for humanity. He understood that there's no meaning to life if there's no possibility of a future. There is no meaning to existence without consequences, be it good or bad. I believe that's when the connection between Yo and Anna can truly be appreciated. You understand how they complete each other, they better each other, and yes, they love each other.